So you kind of, like you just mentioned, you grew up in Tulsa, but you've lived all around the state. Is that work that's taken you around the state?
It's been school.
Okay.
So I grew up in a small town just outside of Tulsa called Liberty Mounds. It's just south of Bixby. Very small. I graduated with like 36 people. Just a small rural community.
Super small, yeah.
Very small, yeah. Oklahoma has a lot of school districts, more than any other state. It's crazy. So that leads to a lot of very small schools.
Yeah.
So I grew up there. Then I went to Miami. I did junior college in Miami, Oklahoma at NEO. Then I moved to Tahlequah and did undergrad and a master's there. Then came back to Tulsa and worked for a while. Just corporate job, just worked for a while. Kind of wasn't happy with that. Decided to get a second job as an adjunct instructor just to see if I liked that.
Sure. And
fell in love with teaching and taught at Rogers State in Claremore for about 4 years. Then decided to go back to school. Apparently I just can't stop going to school. So moved to Norman and did a PhD there, and then was there for about 5 years. And then after I finished up there, then came back to Tulsa.
Wow. So you have your PhD in education?
In communication.
Okay.
Is my degree.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you, like I said, you love learning and teaching. What kind of drew you to teaching? Like, why do I fall in love with teaching?
I don't know. My whole life has been very meandering. That's sort of just the approach I've taken to. I've just sort of happened into things. And so I knew when I was working in the corporate world, I knew that wasn't really a good fit for me. The job was fine. I enjoyed my coworkers and things like that, but it just wasn't
fulfilling.
It wasn't fulfilling. It didn't light me up. So I decided, because I knew with a master's I could adjunct and I could see what it felt like to be in a classroom. I just had never done that before, and it kind of intrigued me. And so applied for an adjunct position at Rogers State. Really loved it. I was just teaching basically intro to speech, speech communication. And so that was really fun. They were wonderful to me at RSU. They gave me a long runway to just sort of do what I wanted, which is not common as an adjunct. I was really given a lot of freedom to build the classroom the way I wanted. We were doing service learning projects. We were doing all kinds of things that were just really, really fun. And so, but I knew if I ever wanted to take that any further and teach anything beyond really just introductory classes, I needed to go back to school and finish it up. So, did that and taught the whole time I was in Norman, because you get a stipend if you're able to teach, which is nice with the cost of higher ed. So taught the whole time I was there. Was able to teach a variety of classes, which was really fun. And then did a short stint after I finished there, a very short course in Germany, which was really, really fun. Yeah. I've always wanted to teach abroad. That was a lifelong sort of bucket list thing.
That must have been really cool.
It was really fun.
And being over there, I assume you probably just took full advantage of how easy it is to travel to all the other countries and went, wherever, basically.
Absolutely.
How long were you there for?
Well, it was just a very temporary short course.
Like 8 weeks?
No. It was like a 2-week course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I was there for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, you took full advantage of it.
Absolutely.
That's
I never
awesome.
look a gift horse in the mouth. So anytime I've been really, really fortunate to just be able to travel for conferences or for teaching opportunities and things like that. And I always, you go for a conference and you're there for a month. It's don't.
Right. Yeah. You're like, I have to be here for a reason. And maybe this flight is paid for from work, or, it's a write off or whatever it is. And like, I'm going to take full advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Get a vacation out of it. Go see the world.
Yeah.
Which is a great lesson for everyone listening.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's so funny because I'm such a big believer in following your passion. You know what I mean? And for me, I got really lucky because I didn't know that was my passion when I went into it. And I'm not teaching now. Because we moved back to Tulsa, there are no jobs to be found here. So, and that was pre-COVID. So it's even worse. It's a tough world out there. Yeah. But I would have students come into my office hours and just talk to me about, and I remember being 22 and being like, what do I want to do with my life? much older than that now, and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, you know,
Right.
but they would talk to me about, you know, well, I'm an international business major. I don't know if this is really what I want to do. And I would say, what do you like? What do you enjoy? You know, and they would say, well, I'm international business because I want to travel and I think it's a good gateway. But I would sort of push and say, well, what do you like? What do you like?
What do you do when you're not having to study?
Right, exactly.
What do you enjoy doing?
And they, you know, one student in particular that I was having this conversation with said, well, I like art. And I was like, well, I don't know if you know this, there is art all over the world, you know?
Literally all over the world. Some of the best of it is all over the world.
And you have this tremendous gift. One of the biggest gifts I think that you have as a student, as an undergrad, is your electives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
The free courses that you have the opportunity to take on any topic. And those are really, I think, the gate, you know, the key to finding what your passion is, because you can take anything you want. And so when you find yourself in classes and you find a class that you're not just struggling through to stay awake, you're actually engaged and interested. Yeah. Those are really good markers for what might be a good pathway, at least to follow for a little while. So I don't know.